Today we will study about nomenclature of organic compounds. We will learn naming of organic compounds. जब हम nomenclature बोलते हैं, nomenclature word का मतलब होता है naming. Now we have to understand organic compounds किसे कहते हैं. Organic compounds उन compounds को कहते हैं जिसमें essentially कार्बन एंड हाइड्रोजन होता है. यानी कि जो कंपाउंड जिसमें कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन होता है उनको हम हाइड्रोकार्बन कहते हैं. तो ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स में कार्बन एंड हाइड्रोजन होता है या वो हाइड्रोकार्बन होते हैं, और इसके अलावा कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन के अलावा उनमें हेटेरो एटम्स भी हो सकते हैं. जब हेटेरो एटम्स भी हो जाएंगे जैसे कि ऑक्सीजन, सल्फर, नाइट्रोजन, हैलोजेंस, तब हम इसे हाइड्रोकार्बन डेरिवेटिव कहेंगे. इसका मतलब नॉमेनक्लेचर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स में हम पढ़ेंगे नेमिंग ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स, यानी कि नेमिंग ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन एंड नेमिंग ऑफ हाइड्रोकार्बन डेरिवेटिव्स. अब जो ये हेटेरो एटम्स होते हैं ये ज़्यादातर हाइड्रोकार्बन ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स में हाइड्रोकार्बन के साथ ये हेटेरो एटम्स एक साथ होते हैं. यानी कि जब वो एक साथ होते हैं तो वो होते हैं, हम कहते हैं फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स में. फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स के बारे में डिटेल्स आप नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मेरे से सुनेंगे. अभी हम समझते हैं कि नेमिंग बेसिकली होता कैसे है. जब भी हमें नेमिंग करना होता है या नॉमेनक्लेचर करना होता है हम आयुपैक रूल से ही करेंगे. कुछ कुछ कंपाउंड्स के कॉमन नेम्स भी होते हैं, वो हम अलग से समझेंगे, लेकिन नेमिंग हम आयुपैक सिस्टम से ही, नॉमेनक्लेचर सिस्टम से ही करेंगे. आयुपैक सिस्टम कहता है कि कोई भी कंपाउंड का जब आपको नेमिंग करनी है उसके 3 पार्ट होते हैं. सेंट्रल पार्ट, मेन पार्ट होता है वर्ड रूट, यानी कि वो उसका पेरेंट क्या है, वो किससे बेसिकली उसका मेन कंटेंट क्या है वो हमें समझना पड़ेगा नेमिंग के लिए. और वो मेन कंटेंट होता है उसका वर्ड रूट. उसके आगे जो वर्ड रूट होता है उसके आगे प्रीफिक्स लगता है. जो भी हम लगाते हैं उस नाम के आगे उस कंपाउंड को पूरी तरह बताने के लिए कि उसमें क्या क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट है उसको हम प्रीफिक्स कहते हैं. और सफिक्स कहते हैं अगर हमें बताना है पूरी तरह कंपाउंड्स में कि वो डबल बॉन्ड है, सिंगल बॉन्ड है, क्या उसकी क्या या उसमें कौन से फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स प्रेजेंट है. तो कोई भी कंपाउंड को जब हमें नेम करना है तो हमें वर्ड रूट सबसे पहले उसका ढूंढना पड़ेगा, यानी कि उसका पेरेंट क्या है, यानी कि उसका मेन कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट क्या है, वो एसेंशियल है कौन सा कंपाउंड, और फिर उसको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए पूरी तरह कि इस कंपाउंड में क्या क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स हैं, क्या क्या इसमें एटम्स हैं. तो हम एक प्रीफिक्स भी लगाते हैं, हम सफिक्स भी लगाते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स प्रेजेंट. जब हम वर्ड रूट ढूंढते हैं तो बेसिकली वर्ड रूट जब हम देखते हैं तो हम लोग ये ढूंढते हैं कि उस कंपाउंड के नंबर ऑफ कार्बन एटम्स कितने हैं. नंबर ऑफ कार्बन एटम्स कितने हैं, सबसे पहले हम ढूंढते हैं उस कंपाउंड की लॉन्गेस्ट चेन कौन सी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई कंपाउंड है जिसमें कार्बन कार्बन एक दूसरे से ऐसे लिंक्ड है, बाकी ऑब्वियसली हर कार्बन के चारों ओर हमें 4 बॉन्ड होने चाहिए. एवरी लाइन रिप्रेजेंट्स 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर, यानी कि एक, अगर हम सबसे पहले सिंपलेस्ट से स्टार्ट करते हैं. अगर आपको वर्ड रूट समझना है तो अगर हम एक कंपाउंड ले कार्बन जिसके चारों ओर 4 हाइड्रोजन एटम्स हैं, इसका मतलब कार्बन का एटॉमिक नंबर 6, तो उसका फर्स्ट जो ऑर्बिट है, अगर ये न्यूक्लियस है तो उसके फर्स्ट ऑर्बिट में 2 आएंगे, सेकेंड ऑर्बिट में 4 आएंगे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. तो ये जो 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं ये आउटर शेल के जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है वो यहाँ रिप्रेजेंट किए जाते हैं. और हर एटम की टेंडेंसी होती है कि उसका जो आउटर शेल है, यहाँ पे कार्बन का आउटर शेल सेकेंड वाला है कि उसके आउटर शेल कंप्लीट हो जाए। कंप्लीट जो सेकेंड वाला शेल कंप्लीट तभी माना जाएगा अगर इसके आउटर शेल में 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हो। ये आपने क्लास 9 सब में पढ़ लिया है। अब 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स करने के लिए ये 4 हाइड्रोजन एटम्स के साथ बॉन्ड करता है, शेयरिंग करता है। हर हाइड्रोजन एटम में एटॉमिक नंबर 1 होता है और उसके फर्स्ट शेल में, अगर ये न्यूक्लियस है तो उसके फर्स्ट शेल में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है, बिकॉज एटॉमिक नंबर इज 1। तो ऐसे 4 हाइड्रोजन एटम्स कम नियर 4 electrons of carbon and each one of them share its 1 electron with carbon atom. That is how हमें 4 bonds मिलते हैं around each carbon atom. Every one line, every bond line, this is called as bond line. Every bond line represents a pair of electron, जिसमें हर पेयर में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन कार्बन का है और एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हाइड्रोजन का है। इधर भी एक इलेक्ट्रॉन कार्बन का है, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हाइड्रोजन का है। ऐसे शेयरिंग से कार्बन के आउटरमोस्ट शेल में अगर आप काउंट करेंगे 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन हो गया है। सो नाउ इट्स लास्ट शेल इज कंप्लीट। नाउ द कंपाउंड इज स्टेबल। सो एवरी कार्बन एटम हैज 4 bonds around it for its stability. Based on this, कार्बन को जो दूसरा इलेक्ट्रॉन मिलता है वो हाइड्रोजन से भी आ सकता है, वो दूसरे कार्बन एटम से भी आ सकता है। यानी कि इफ सपोज आई हैव 1 2 3 4, these are the 4 electrons of the outermost shell. If I have 4 electrons of carbon in this way, and I told you that every hydrogen atom comes with 1 electron, it can also be having the next electron, it can have it from another carbon atom. For example, there is another carbon atom in this way. There is one more carbon atom in this way. So it is not necessary that it will take only from hydrogen. It can take from carbon also. That is why we say that organic compounds are made up of hydrogen and carbon essentially, and hydrocarbon derivatives also contain heteroatoms. Now, when we see this, this carbon needs 4. So this will form a bond in this way. Here also it will form a bond. Now it has 1 2 3 4 5 6. The other 4 will be, the other 2 electrons will be coming from hydrogen. This will continue. It can take from another carbon atom. So it will depend upon how many carbon atoms are there, how many hydrogen atoms are there in that particular organic compound. We will come to know that which is the longest chain. Now here also the same type of thing can be seen. So this continues, and in this way, by knowing the number of carbon atoms, we can know that which particular organic compound is present. Now over here, if we see an organic compound, and if we see that, for example, I gave you the first example. Now I will not represent electrons over here. I will only represent them by lines over here. So if I see this particular compound, I see that there is only one carbon atom. So for getting the word root, we need to know the number of carbon atom. I have an example of a compound, the simplest organic compound, in which I see that there is only one carbon atom. Whenever in any organic compound there is only one carbon atom, the word root, the main name of that organic compound starts with meth. This is the word root part. We will add on to the prefix and suffix later on as we proceed with the learning. If there is only one carbon, if there is 2 carbon, then the name starts with eth. How do I get 2 carbons? C. I told you how that bond is formed, and they should not be more than 2. So the most probable structure, rest of them are with hydrogen. Most probable structure will be 2 carbon. The name will be starting with eth. In that way, if I see a carbon which is having 3, if I see a compound which is having 3 carbon, name will start with prop. 4 carbon, name will start with but. 5 pent. PENT, C6. That is, if there are 6 carbon atoms in that particular organic compound, the name starts with hex. If there are 7, het. 8. If there are 8 number of carbon atoms, oct. 9 number of carbon atoms, non. And if there are 10 number of carbon atoms, det. So meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, hep, oct, non and det. So depending upon the number of carbon atoms, we will have the main word root. Now, if suppose, now I am not going to go into many complicated things right at the beginning because they should be learned stepwise. And as you learn stepwise, even those complicated things will become easier for you. Right now you need to understand that there is a prefix and there is a suffix. Word root is basically meth, eth, and the basic name of word root starts with, the general name is alk. That is, alk is the general name which we will get from alkane, about which I will explain to you later. Right now, please concentrate on this one. Now this one, depending upon whether these carbon atoms are present in a straight chain or whether, suppose I give you an example of straight chain. If they are linked in a straight chain, or are they a closed ring? That is, are they cyclic, are they closed or ring? That will be indicated by a prefix. If suppose I draw a structure of closed string 3 carbon atom and the hydrogen atoms will be filling in for the rest of them. Over here 1, 2 and then 3, 4. Again 3, 4. Every carbon atom should have 4 bond lines around it so that it has 8 electrons around it, that is 4 pair of electrons. Now, if suppose I have a structure in this way, then I have to put cyclo as a prefix. So, the name cyclo is basically just indicating that whether it is present in the form of a straight chain or whether it is in the form of a ring. Now, in the prefix, we sometimes put substituents also. I told you that hydrocarbon derivative can contain heteroatoms. So, if suppose I have for example a nitro group, NO2. NO2 is called as a nitro. Or if I have for example a halogen. Halogens are fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide. If I have Cl as a halogen in place of hydrogen, I need to indicate such kind of substituent over here as a prefix. So cyclo will go as a primary prefix, and if there is a substituent, it is not necessary that substituents have to be there, prefixes have to be there or suffixes have to be there. It can be simply depending upon the compound example we have been given. So substituent, if for example substituent is chloro, so we put in primary, if suppose this is a straight chain. So if it was a cyclic, cyclo word have been coming there, and secondary would be the substituent name. The chloro would be going as secondary. Now this is a straight chain. So what we do is that we put chloro, and there is no need of cyclo since there is a straight chain. So prefix has a primary indicated by whether it's a ring or not, and a substituent further on indicated before the word root. Now this is about what we call the prefix part. So prefix can be indicating whether it's cyclic or not, and whether it has a substituent or not, whether it is a ring or not, whether it is having a substituent or not. This is the primary prefix and the secondary prefix which indicates the substituent. Now for example, now let me go for the suffix part. Suffix part will indicate whether this particular compound is saturated or not. Now that means saturated or not, let me rub this off. First 4 I will keep it. Whether it is saturated or not. Now that word saturated for class 9th and 10th would be quite new. By class 11th, since this nomenclature series, I am trying to help out students of class 9, 10th and 11th for making the naming of organic compounds much simpler for them. In saturated and in unsaturated organic compounds, when we use that word, that means saturated are those in which carbon is having only single bond lines around it. If suppose carbon is having double bond line around it, or it is having triple bond line around it, then that particular compound in which any carbon atom in its chain, I am repeating, any carbon atom in its chain contains a double or a triple bond, then that particular compound will be called as unsaturated. Now let me explain to you with an example. I had told you that these are the 4 electrons. I am just representing the outermost shell electron. And this is another carbon atom, and I told you it can share electron with the next carbon atom. So this forms a single line. If for example it shares the next electron also, that is between 2 carbon atoms, so that joining only with 1 more hydrogen atom, 2 more hydrogen atom in each one of them. That is, this one I am representing like this. Then what will happen if it is sharing 2 pairs of electron among them? It will have a double bond between 2 carbon atoms. Now again, if suppose these two electrons again get shared, then carbon atom will be joining with 1 hydrogen atom each, and there will be a triple bond between them by sharing of 3 pairs of electrons between 2 carbon atoms. So how many more? After 2 it requires 2 more, just leaving it like that. It requires 1 more here. So whenever there is a double bond or triple bond in any of the carbon atom in the organic compound, we call it as unsaturated. Now if it is having a double bond, the word root name will be having a suffix. Again I am repeating, if it is having a double bond, the word root name will be having a suffix ene. The word root name will be having a suffix ene. If it is having a triple bond, the word root name will be having a suffix yne. Again I am repeating, if it is having a double bond, the suffix would be ene. If it is having a triple bond, the suffix would be yne. And in case there is no double bond, triple bond, it remains the same. The suffix stays as ane. I was mentioning about alkane first. Alk comes from the word root. Ane stays if suppose it is a single bond. So the name becomes methane if it is a single bond. Now in case of 2 carbon atoms, if suppose there is no double bond, the name becomes ethane, propane, butane. If there is a double bond, now double bond cannot happen in a carbon alone. There should be minimum 2 carbon atoms for a double or a triple bond. So ene, yne starts from the compound having 2 carbon atoms. So over here we will be having ene, yne. So if suppose double bond is there, ethene, propene, butene, ethyne, propyne, butane. So this is the name, this is the way in which nomenclature of organic compounds is done. Now again, one last thing, just like there is a primary prefix, there is a secondary prefix. This unsaturated, saturated are indicated as a suffix. Suffix means coming behind the word root, and that indicates saturated or unsaturated. This is the primary suffix. Now there is a secondary suffix. Now that secondary suffix, that will be indicated by whether what functional group is present. Now what functional groups are and how we name functional groups, that I will be teaching you in the next video. So in the suffix secondary part will tell you what functional group is present. I will just give you one example over here before we go for the next video. If suppose I have this kind of atom. Let me teach you with an example here. Now we know that 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that there should be 4 linkages around it. If instead of the 4th atom, I put a functional group. Now that functional group you'll be learning in the next one. OH is a functional group. Again I am repeating, OH is a functional group. So what happens here is that the longest chain is considered for taking the word root. How many carbon atoms are there? 3. So over here, if we consider the longest chain, 3 carbon atoms are here, we will take as the word root. Now there is a double bond. One double bond is more than enough for it to become unsaturated. There is a double bond, there is no triple bond. There is a double bond between carbon atoms, and that gives it the suffix -ene, the primary suffix -ene. Now this is propene, but there is a functional group also, OH. Whenever there is a functional group, that functional group OH is the secondary suffix symbol is ending with OL. So right now propene, if this was H, it would have stayed as propene. Now if this is OH, this E has to be replaced by OL. So this becomes propanol. So in this way, once we understand how functional groups are named, we will continue in the next video how we give nomenclature to organic compounds with substituents, with even if they are ring or if they are straight chain, with substituents, how to give the word root, and saturated, unsaturated is indicated by the primary suffix, and the secondary suffix will be telling us the functional group present. So I hope so this video is making it clear for you, and you will at least try to